In 2025, one simple idea took root: to give India's local business owners, creators, and dreamers a voice that would echo far beyond their city limits. I'm Kabir. People say I'm honest, soft hearted, maybe even a little old school in my values, but I believe in something timeless: the power of human stories to inspire action. That's why I started Kabir Vani Business Edition podcast.
Siddharth, today's podcast is all about stock market, encouraging more females to be a part of it. What made you think that not enough females are, involving themselves in stock market?
So, Kabir, I have been teaching since the last 5 years, and what I've noticed is in my class also, the ratio is quite skewed. It is more males. The batch is entirely mostly male dominated. There are a few females, and over the years, their numbers have picked up. But according to me, it can be better. Stock market or finance as an industry is generally considered by people as a male profession. Incidentally, in my class, the females are actually doing better than the men.
Why do you think this, should I call it sexism, happening in the life of finance or stock market? Because even in my house, I think Bhakti is much better in doing investments and कहाँ invest करना है, कैसे invest करना है, कौन से stocks में डालना है, नहीं डालना है, comparatively to me. But why is it that like you said, in finance it's more male oriented?
So I think it's not like other professions may have, some of the professions themselves or the workplaces themselves might be sexist. But finance in general, I think it comes from, ancient times when men used to work. So men were associated with money matters, right? And somehow that stuck. And today you find all the major financial professions are all male dominated. Females themselves don't either wish to, or they don't think they are capable of doing it, which is completely, a myth.
Do you think this comes from a limiting belief that we cannot do it for females?
Probably yes, but what they don't realize is they are already doing these things in the things that they do normally. As a woman managing the family plus work plus other things, that they are into, it's not easy. And that is the kind of acumen, that is the kind of multitasking ability which is required when it comes to investing. Like you have dozens of stocks, you might have dozens of investments to take care of that. Handling men are not generally, good at multitasking. We have a tunnel vision, right? But women can actually do it better. So they have the ability. They just don't know that the same ability can be used here.
It's funny how you said that, because as a manifestation coach, even one of the courses that I have, Manifest Relationship, and this is what I teach as well, that how women have the power of multitasking and men do not have it. We have like the partitions. There. So, I'm funny how it's working together in the stock market as well. What do you think, the challenges they may face when they first think, I will join this and be part of a stock market group?
At every step, they will have to overcome their own limiting beliefs, which are mostly in their own mind, not there in reality at all. In fact, once they step over those first 2-3 barriers, they will realize that, okay, I'm getting this. And that's what happens with my students as well. The females in my class initially are very apprehensive. They ask me whether I'll be able to do it. And after 1 or 2 sessions, they're like, yeah, easy hai. Right? And that's when the transformation actually begins. That's when they realize, okay, I can do this. And females are actually trading better in my class. They are becoming, more females are becoming traders than the men. In my class, at least.
Okay, is it? Now, are you transitioning towards training more females? Is that what it is? You're gonna have like a special female-only group coming in for you?
I see going forward that my ratio will now be flipped. I might have more females in my class. That's what I'm hoping for. But I'm not proactively doing anything in that direction. But yes, it would be lovely to train more females and get them into this, because this is something that comes naturally to them.
Okay, what are you looking for in terms of changing the perspective? What made you think that you want to bring more females in?
Usually what happens, and it happens even today, It happened in my family. My mother had to quit her promising career to take care of the family and particularly me, right? And this happens even today. They have to give up on their dreams career wise to take care of family responsibilities. And whereas stock market can actually give them that confidence back, right? When you earn, right? When you're not dependent on your partner, your spouse for money, that's a different kind of confidence. I'm not saying there's a competition, but financial confidence is something that is required, right? When you don't have to worry about ki, agar, if something happens to my spouse, what will we do, right? When that certainty comes back, that's a different ball game altogether, for the women. And this is something that they can do alongside their responsibility. They don't have to pick one over the other.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, that how much time a woman needs to put in this. Now, let's talk about homemakers, right? Especially because most of the times homemakers are the one who want to be like, "Arey yaar, if I would be able to do something, get on the part-time side." So let's talk about that, right? How much hour in a day that you have to put?
So I'll tell you this: as a professional trader, I work only 2 hours a day. So you can imagine probably the same amount of time they would require. The benefit or the advantage that homemakers have is, I'm not saying that they have a lot of time, but they have the flexibility to rearrange stuff and find time for this. That gives them that added advantage.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that in fact, homemakers are the one who is the most busiest comparatively to the people who do a 9 to 5 job, because their job actually never ends.
Yes.
And I think you said it very nicely that they can just rearrange a little bit of a thing and maybe watch a little bit of a soap opera where they're putting that time, they can put it up here. But then, I have come across many of these coaches who say that, oh, you know what, you have to be prepared for the next 3 days. You have to do your homework or you're going to end up losing money in stock market. How much is that true?
Not quite. I don't know what those guys are talking about, but I'll tell you this, that being a professional trader, I only work for 2 hours a day, right? Even homemakers will have to put roughly 1 or 2 hours into trading probably. They can always rearrange their schedule. The advantage that they have is here, although they are busy, they can always shuffle things around because they have got that liberty. They don't have a 9 to 5 where they have to give exactly that time to someone else. They can reshuffle and they can find only about 1.5 to 2 hours and they can make money on the side as well.
But then how about the term where they have to do the homework and they have to, be prepared about it? How about that?
If they are doing something like an intraday, they don't need to prepare anything. Okay. In fact, that's what I teach my students. I tell them, don't worry about if you're going to do intraday, don't chart or don't analyze a day prior. It's going to go to waste.
Okay.
When the market opens, that's when you open up your chart and analyze on the spot. You don't need to know what is going to happen 3 days down the line or even for tomorrow. It's always live and you will know exactly what to do.
Okay, so let me get more deeper into this a little bit, okay? So, my audience, take pens and paper ready because this is going to be a masterclass for you. I want to make $1,000 a day. I'm going to keep it very simple. $1,000 a day. Stock market is open, 25 days a month?
Roughly 20 to 22 sometimes.
Okay, so we'll keep it 20 to 25 days. So I want to make $1,000 a day. That gives me a good 25,000 rupees, which can be a great amount for a good homemaker who wants to just have like a side pocket money, right? So today I start. How much investment do I need to start with?
Intraday, if you do things correctly, if you manage your risk, if you maintain your discipline, roughly about 50 to 60,000 is enough to, on an average, make about $1,000 a day.
Okay, so I can actually invest 50-60,000 and I can make $1,000 a day.
If everything is done correctly, then yes.
So when you say if everything done correctly, what does that mean? What is the risk of losing that money?
We always, as traders, have our own risk management, which means we always hope for the best, but we are prepared for the worst. If the stock doesn't go in our direction, and if it goes opposite, we already have a set point कि मैं इतना ही loss लेने वाला हूँ. If that comes, it's automatically cut. You have a small loss and it's over. That trade is over. But here's the thing. we play with probabilities in our favor, which means we analyze the stock so that we know that more chances are in our favor. And then we amplify those chances by something called a risk reward ratio.
Okay.
अगर मेरा ट्रेड सही गया तो लेट्स से आई एम मेकिंग 3,000 rupees. अगर मेरा ट्रेड गलत जाता है, आई एम रेडी टू लूज ओनली 1,000 rupees. That's the 1:3 risk reward ratio that we have. So even if you're 50-50 correct, you can still reach your target, because when you're losing very tiny. When you're gaining a lot, 3 times of what you were planning to lose. That makes it possible for you to maintain consistency in your earnings, but this has to be practiced diligently. Okay, if you follow this correctly, then on an average $1,000 with a capital of 50,000-60,000 is possible, because you're maintaining and you're following this. You're taking probabilities and mathematics on your side.
So now there are so many stocks, right? I mean, I cannot even count them. How do I pick the right stock which will give me that $3,000 or $1,000?
In my class, I always tell my students to focus on stocks which are in the futures and options market. Okay, there are about, the number varies, but roughly around between 100 to 150 stocks which are in that market also. Now, in intraday, we trade on equity. That is, we buy and sell shares only.
Right.
We don't work on futures and options. But those are the stocks which have that movement you need in intraday.
Okay.
Stock move hoga to aap kamaoge. So we pick only those 100 stocks, let's say, and we narrow them down further by practicing on them and realizing which ones are good for us.
Okay.
So I have a list of about 20-25 stocks that I have picked out, and I work on intraday only on those stocks.
Okay.
25 stocks बहुत हो गए आपको दिन में 1-2 trades देने के लिए.
Okay. And that brings you that particular thing.
Absolutely.
Now, do you share those lists, or is it आपको बैठ के आपके thought process, आपके energy के साथ choose करना है?
When people ask me, show me your watch list, and we'll also have these stocks in our watch list, I share it with them, but I also tell them that trading is a bit personal. So maybe these stocks might not suit you, all of them, but you can always tweak around and you can find those that fit your personality as well.
From the 2 hours of the journey that you said, is it all trading, or is it researching, trading and learning?
It's mostly waiting.
Okay.
For example, I take about 10 minutes out of that 2 hours to enter into a trade.
Okay.
But I spend 1 to 1.5 hours just waiting for that stock to hit my target. So that's going to happen. It's a game of waiting. Once you have correctly entered, managed your risk well, then it's all about waiting till you get your money.
Now, let me ask you this, right? So it must be easy for you to let go of that stock when it has done the stop loss, right? But as a human, you have that ray of hope. अरे नहीं, ये तो ऐसा जा रहा है, आ जाएगा. And then how do you maintain that mindset that हो गया है, let go?
So first of all, I delegate that responsibility to the machine. There is something known as a stop loss, which I define कि यहाँ पे आएगा तो position काट ले. Don't even ask me, काट ले. So if it comes there, automatically your position is going to get exited.
Okay.
So you don't have that decision making at that point. Now, that the emotion you described is hope. And there are 5 emotions that professional traders stay clear of. Greed and fear, सबको पता है.
Yeah.
Third one is hope. अरे ठीक है, थोड़ा और ऊपर आएगा तो मैं बेचूंगा, कॉस्ट टू कॉस्ट बेचूंगा, या फिर अभी बहुत लॉस हुआ है, लॉस थोड़ा कम करके बेचूंगा, and then that's where it goes.
Yeah.
The other 2 are anger and despair. Anger is लॉस कैसा हुआ, अभी तो मैं और करके मैं रिकवर करूंगा, again finished. And despair is where people end their trading career by saying that stock market को हाथ नहीं लगाऊंगा, अभी सिर्फ मैं म्यूचुअल फंड करूंगा या एफडी में रखूंगा, लेकिन शेयर मार्केट में नहीं जाऊंगा.
मेरी कुंडली में स्टॉक मार्केट नहीं है.
हाँ.
Cool. Okay. If you talk about at that particular point of time, because these emotions are there, you very rightly said कि हम उसको रिकवर करने के लिए वापस एक स्टॉक डालते हैं. अगर स्टॉप लॉस हिट हो गया, आज का हो गया, तुम्हारा काम खत्म, should you stop there or should you rethink about entering again?
So what you're referring to is sometimes called over trading. Now, people have this concept wrong. They feel कि over trading means taking a lot of trades in a day. No. If you win your first trade, second trade, take the third one, take the fourth one, take the 10th one. And I do this. I have a formula which is, if you're trading with 1 lakh rupees, your potential loss in a day should not exceed 2,500.
Okay.
So I divide that into two parts, 1250, 1250 per lakh. And if I get first trade wrong, no problem. I can take the second one.
Okay.
Second one right, third one right, fourth one right, fifth one wrong again, 2 trades wrong. My loss, if you keep it separate, and loss is 2,500, I stop. Going beyond that and taking the next trade will be over trading.
You know, concept of making $1,000 a day that I'm talking about, right? अभी 50,000 60,000 तो मैंने डाला है अभी, because whenever I'm making that $1,000, how do I make sure that I withdraw that money? Because then at the end of the day I'm still left with 50,000-60,000 rupees only, ना 30,000 तो मैंने निकाल लिए और 20,000-25,000 मैंने निकाल लिए. How do I grow that bandwidth and still have money for myself?
So let's say you're trading with 50,000, and if you follow everything correctly, and this is why I tell people, have a side income initially. Don't just jump into the market. When you have a side income, you're not dependent on this income, which means less emotions, more chances of winning. Now, when you are doing things correctly, which means you're consistently making money, 50,000 will soon become 55, it'll become 60. कभी-कभी कम ज़्यादा करके वो बढ़ते जाएगा, just like a stock. It's going to reach mathematically 1 lakh. Mathematically, होने ही वाला है. Let's say you take somewhere around 3 months to reach this, okay, to double your money. Now, going from 1 lakh to 2 lakhs is not going to take you 6 months. It is going to take you 3 months only. From 2 lakhs to 4 lakhs, same amount of time. So once you get a sizable capital, that is when you can do other forms of trading, which are even less riskier. That is hedging and futures and options when you do them correctly. And once you reach a sizable capital, then you can start withdrawing your profit. Let's say I've got 10 lakh rupees as my capital. Anything above 10 lakhs that I make, every month I can say, okay, abhi 12.5 lakh hai, 2.5 lakh rupiya main withdraw karta hu. And you make your money on that 10 lakhs. Okay. Keep it as a capital.
Okay. Cool. Let me come to you now a little bit, because हमने काफी सारा knowledge दिया है यहाँ पे that how things will work, and you know how they can make sure that they make money out of the 50,000 and make that $1,000 extra, which can be a great income for many of the people. Just for a side thing. I'm not saying that you can survive from it, but at least, you know, especially when we are talking about homemakers, you know, they want to try something on the side. I think they can definitely make a good side income out of that. Is there any age bar? There is there. Sorry, I was gonna come to you, but then I want to ask you that कि अगर कोई है तो you know, is there any age that you can start stock market या उसके बाद start नहीं करना है?
So I don't know the definitive age because it can be much lower as well. But in my class, I have trained a 10-year-old child,
No way.
a 10-year-old girl, and an 11-year-old boy. Different batches, but they are doing fantastic when it comes to analyzing stocks. In fact, better than some adults. They pick up things very quickly. Right? Of course, you can start trading only when you're 18, but there's no harm in learning it.
Learning from it, yeah. And then, I mean, imagine that those kids making like probably 10 lakh by the time they're 18 years old. You know, it's like, because right now, if you think about a concept, if you meet people and you ask them, okay, how much money do you want to make a month? And I think 10 lakh has now become the mark where people want to make it a month. You know, that is it. But sadly, we're still, I think, if you're making 10 lakh a month, you're still considered as 1 and 2% of the population in India who's making that much amount of money.
Absolutely.
And this can be a great way for them to come across. But kamti to umar bata diya, sabse maximum umar kya ho sakti hai?
I have trained an 85-year-old guy. Okay. Again, took a little time, went slow and steady. His motive was not money. He had already made a lot of money. He wanted to spend time to learn something new. I always tell people, have this mindset. Okay. Don't come for the money, come for the learning. Okay, because that is what worked for him, and he also can now analyze charts properly, take his own decisions. Share market is not difficult to learn at all, right? But the mindset matters. In any kind of learning. Mindset matters.
Mindset is important. How to have a positive mindset while you're doing stock market?
It's really difficult. Positive mindset also involves emotions, and it's difficult to manage emotions. As humans, we are inherently prone to getting emotional, and once emotions take over, logic goes out the window. my students practice on paper. So they are not putting in real money. Although the market is real, they are practicing on an app which is like a demo account. And once they practice and they start seeing the results, that is when they start slowly putting in their money.
Okay.
So the secret is not to let emotions come up in the first place. Once you know that, okay, following this gives you what you want, why would you do anything else?
Okay.
And if you're not doing anything else, why would you have emotions?
Fair enough. And what all do you teach in your course?
So my course is an end-to-end program on the share market. I don't believe in splitting my course into bits and pieces like intraday karna hai to ye karo, futures options karna hai to ye karo, because everything is connected. Even if you want to learn only investing, chart reading is necessary, which is also applicable in intraday. So what I teach is right from the basics. In fact, 2-3 steps before other classes start, that's where we begin, right at the foundation. And we cover each and everything which is there in the share market. Menu ki tarah bolna hai, to we have intraday, we have swing and positional trading in futures and options, we have commodities, we have other different markets, global markets. It works everywhere. And we learn how to invest correctly, do our fundamental analysis, that is going through the financials of companies. We also use AI to help us with that.
Oh, has that now come across to it?
Yes, I have started using it. I love it. So I teach my students how to, prompt better. You can't just ask ChatGPT, give me 5 stocks that are best for investment. That's not going to get you anywhere.
Okay.
But if you prime the AI on the kind of investor you are and then tell it to take your role, you're essentially giving it your investment preferences, but with its intelligence.
Okay.
And then you feed it the financial data of those companies. It is way better at quickly analyzing it and not missing out on anything. And then it forms a story around the company. Through the numbers, numbers tell a story. If the company's fixed assets are going up, their land and building is going up, as well as, let's say, their intangible assets are going up, which means probably I can think of is they have patented some new technology of production or a new product that they are going to launch, and they are building capacity for it. So it's a good thing, right? So numbers always tell a story, and AI is much better than humans at formulating such stories.
Correct, absolutely. But I think there are a lot of more other AI tools as well that you can utilize. But again, that's for the next podcast that we'll discuss. Now, if somebody wants to come for your course, how can they get in touch with you? And what is your course fees and your course duration?
So as far as the fees are concerned, Kabir, I have kept it minimal because I want to reach out to a lot of people. Right? I want to make it accessible for each and every person. I know people are charging in lakhs in the market. That's not where I come from. So it's roughly around 20 grand. Sometimes I do have special offers and early bird offers on the price as well. Sometimes I give concessions to people who are coming from a not so good background as well. The idea is not to make money from my students. I already do that from the market. The idea is to give them the ability to make money on their own.
Okay.
And the reason I teach is out of passion. I accidentally came into teaching.
Okay.
Right? During COVID, I had nothing else to do to pass my time. I started taking webinars. Someone suggested, why don't you teach? Why don't you have a course? You're so good at teaching and explaining, difficult things. I said, okay, let's give it a shot.
I think usually this is how you this is the story of all the coaches. Like eventually, because even for manifestation, I never thought about the fact that I'll be the person teaching manifestation. But then the same scenario happened where I'm actually, doing something. A friend of mine, they're like, I would have paid you for this. And I'm like, all right. For me, that was the thing,
Right.
of course. So I think that's the thing for all the coaches. Now, going towards a journey of learning as well. What's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
They can always search for my name on Google and they'll find me. Otherwise, they can always go to my website, which is learntradinglive.in, live.in. And they can find me. They can get in touch directly with me.
Okay. So you're actually the person they're talking
Who picks up the phone and talks to them directly. I'm the only person who takes all the sessions. And if ever my students have any problem, any doubt, they can always call me directly on my cell.
Okay.
That's how I am different from other coaches.
And do you have any kind of demo sessions or classes that you give?
I sometimes do some seminars or webinars, but not essentially demo sessions. The reason for it is that I have a limited batch size of 25 students,
Oh wow, so it's a very tight.
very tight class. So even if somebody comes to take a demo, firstly on the first day, just by the one day, they are not going to be able to judge whether to join or not. And even if they want to, the batch is always full. It's my batches get full a week to 10 days before they start.
Oh really? Okay, so you've got that pretty decent way going on.
Yes.
Very nice. When somebody buys your book, Bold and Bullish, what they will actually learn from it?
So the book is about Ananya, who's a homemaker. She's not just a homemaker, but she is a previously working, having a thriving career, had to give up her career for her family kind of homemaker, right? So the story follows her from being a homemaker to a confident trader and investor, right? She reclaims her personality, she reclaims her financial confidence. And through her story, the audience, while she's learning certain things that are there in the book, the audience also learns those at the same time. So they're always parallel with the central character. They resonate with her. And that's how the story goes. And the audience learns a lot. The reader actually picks up on the what and why of the share market.
Wow.
Now, the book says that each individual, regardless of their background, can take charge of their financial story.
Great. So Bold and Bullish, guys. That's the book available on Amazon.
Yes.
And they can buy it from you directly, of course, when they come for the
Absolutely.
courses.
Absolutely.
Great. So this amazing book that is there, I hope that you guys go ahead and buy that, because I feel that is going to be a very great start. If you're even thinking about starting, like, how will it feel like, what it will be like. So that book will kind of clear their doubts out, right? And especially for our homemakers who are listening to this podcast, which would definitely help out. Now, before we call this a final moment of our podcast, there are a few questions that I have to ask you, all right? And we'll call it a quick fire round. You ready for that?
Absolutely.
Great, give me a minute. First stock you ever bought?
I don't quite remember, but I think it might be Reliance.
Isn't it all for everyone?
For everyone, almost everyone.
I think it's either Reliance, L&T, Isha Motors,
big one.
the big ones, right? Okay. One trading myth you wish people would stop believing.
That the market is inherently risky or is a gamble.
Isn't it?
It's not. Absolutely not. It's a science. It's pure science.
One habit every successful trader should build.
Mindset, very important.
And one mistake new trader makes all the time.
Thinking that they can come in with a very less amount of money and build crores out of it. It happens, but it's rare.
And you really have to work on it.
Really have to work on it.
Lot of work, lot of homework. Great, yeah, Siddharth. I enjoyed this particular podcast. It's a small 30 minutes business edition today, and I think we have done our level best to give the best of the masterclass that could have done in terms of it. And if people have really taken notes, then they can definitely learn something from it. If not, they can definitely get in touch with you to ensure that they can take your classes, your coaching, and something to learn from. Now, before we call this the final day, is your coaching for a certain amount of time, or is it a lifetime process? How is it?
It's a lifetime thing because I believe that learning never stops.
So they pay you once and then they have your lifetime course, and if they update it and everything like that?
Absolutely. So I keep on updating my curriculum and they can come back and stay updated for life. There are no extra charges to attend. We have it in a hybrid format. Some portions we do it in person. Some portions we do it online. We meet twice every month.
Okay.
So that they can have FaceTime with me and solve their doubts in person as well.
Okay, so you have a Q&A apart from
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, today we had Siddharth with us, who is a stock market coach, who will actually teach you the right way of making money. And if you're looking just to have that little side income, I'm not talking about making money in lakhs or crores. Sometimes having that side income of maybe 20,000, 30,000 a month can really solve a lot of things for you. And investment is not that big as well. We're talking about 50, 60,000 bucks, which we usually tend to spend on our food outside or, things that is not really necessary. So even if you save that much amount of money, invest with Siddharth. He'll teach you how to do it correctly. He will teach you how to do right trading, right stock market ways. And trust me, when you do it correctly, it's not gamble. Like he said, it's a basic science. And if you learn how to do that basic science, you too easily make that 1,000 rupees a day, which will really solve a lot of things for you. Well, I've put Siddharth's all the details in the description below. Make sure you go ahead and share this with all your female friends who would like to start their trading journey today, especially where they are homemakers, and this would really help them out. Watch this with all your family members because this podcast is all learning, and all learning. And if you would like to listen to this particular podcast while you're driving, be careful. You can always listen to us on Amazon Prime, Ghana, and Spotify. I'll see you until next time.
This isn't just a podcast, it's a catalyst, a space where your business story can become someone's turning point. I'm Kabir, and this is the Kabir Vani Business Edition. Your voice, your impact forever.